We'll have to coordinate going forward.
Okay, as you guys squeeze in, I'm hoping that Francisca Coelho and Scott Pask are somewhere in the back of the line of people who are entering the exhibition. I see Teresa and I see Karen Dahlman. Karen, do you mind coming up with me right here? So just again to keep the show moving, you're now entering what we're describing as a Hawaiian paradise garden, filled with brilliant and beautiful tropical flowers, just as O'Keeffe would have experienced upon arriving in Honolulu and making her first forays to the nature in and around the gardens and plantations of Oahu. And so that was our jumping off point, as it always is for these exhibitions. We look at the artwork, we look at the cultural the cultural record of the experience brought to us by the artist, and then we try to understand what that artist saw when the artist saw that work, how that connects to our contemporary ideas about nature and biodiversity in art. So we really had two sources of inspiration for the exhibition. Of course, first and foremost were the paintings. As I said, made 20 complete paintings when she was in college. O'Keeffe made 20 complete paintings when she was in Hawaii, or immediately after. She was there to document pineapples for an advertising campaign. She did ultimately paint a pineapple, which I believe, Karen, that she did after she returned to New York.
In New York City, they sent her a pineapple in the mail, and she painted it
exactly.
to fulfill her obligation.
So that's one source. Obviously, we can look at those images and we can get a sense of how she saw, how she visualized Hawaii, what her vision of Hawaii was. But we also have another remarkable resource, which are a series of letters and telegrams, mostly letters, that she sent back to Stieglitz in New York. And there is a part of the exhibition, is a short film, a 12-minute long film, that's narrated by our trustee Sigourney Weaver, of those letters. And those letters are as much love letters to the natural and garden landscape of Hawaii as they are a travelogue. And she kept on saying, she said something to the effect of, my idea of nature has not been beautiful enough. And she was blown away by the flowers, which she called a ginger, which is likely a heliconia, by just the kind of outlandish, kind of otherworldly beauty. And she kept on saying to Stieglitz, you won't believe these paintings when you see them. You will not think that what I am painting is real. And that was her sense of the beauty of the Hawaiian paradise garden. And again, as I've described very briefly, those plants, none of them are native Hawaiian plants. So we, in our research, found that there are effectively three floras of Hawaii. There's the native Hawaiian flora, which is incredibly diverse. There are around 1,200 native Hawaiian species, 90% of which are endemic to the Hawaiian Islands, which means they occur nowhere else, and about half of those are considered extinct, at risk of extinction, endangered due to human activity. There's also what we call the canoe plants, and Mark Chai is somebody who's really studied. These are traditional plants that were introduced to Hawaii about 1,500 years ago with the original Polynesian settlers of Hawaii. They loaded these plants into their dugout canoes and actually brought them across the Pacific Ocean. Why? Because these are the plants they considered were necessary for survival. They include sugarcane, they include tea, cordyline, they include breadfruit, plants that were important for food, for medicine, for cultural traditions, and for other purposes. So those are the canoe plants. And then, of course, there are the modern introductions, the plants that have been brought to Hawaii since the late 18th century when Captain Cook made his first voyage there. Those are the plants of the gardens that O'Keeffe visited during her stay, and they also include, of course, pineapple, which is a modern introduction. So those are the three floras of Hawaii. The native wild Hawaiian plants, which are very diverse and very endangered, the canoe plants, which are culturally significant, and then the modern introductions for gardens and for agriculture. So our exhibition, because O'Keeffe's trip through Hawaii was so inspired by what she saw in the homes and hotels where she stayed, the exhibition introduces you to all three of those floras through those incredibly beautiful plants that she painted and described in her journal.